Welcome to part 3 of modeling mechanical. In this section we're looking at modeling horizontal distribution, which is the main branch lines for your ductwork. I'm starting from the same file I used last time, so you can see that I have the rooftop mechanical equipment here along with the main risers. As I mentioned last time, you can only model ductwork in a view that is parallel to the ductwork itself. So since we're doing horizontal, I'm going to open a plan view. I'm going to look at level 1. So I pull my level 1, here we go. And I'm going to pull up my trusty south elevation. Get rid of my 3D view. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. I plan on putting my ductwork up in the ceiling, and I have a 16-foot ceiling that has 3'7" from the bottom face of the ceiling to the bottom of the slab. So that's the area that I have to work with on my first floor. Just going to maximize my window here. To begin with, we're going to start with duct placeholders. Now, excuse me, for risers we use duct, but for horizontal we use duct placeholders to start because they're a lot easier to work with. The riser is kind of a simple system. It's just one line that goes from the top to the bottom, and then maybe you change the dimensions of the cross section in between. But for the horizontal distribution, there's actually going to be branches and a lot of other kind of pieces that will make this that can make this more difficult. So to make it easier on ourselves, we are going to use this. It's a little easier to edit, doesn't have fittings. So this tool is located in Systems, Duct Placeholder. Some of the properties that I want you to notice are level 1, offset 15, which is the mid-level, center line of the duct. System type, I'm actually going to start with supply. Could have chose exhaust or return. If I scroll all the way down here to the bottom, I have the width and the height. Now the main branches are actually pretty, they're the second largest duct that's going to be in your building. And the branches are the smallest, and your risers are the largest. So I'm going to make these a little bigger. Let's make these 24 by 20, which is probably not even big enough. Actually, let me go a little bigger than this. Let me do 36 by 30. Now, I'm gonna, just for the sake of this, to keep this easy, I'm going to keep this at something a little easier, 24 by 30. There we go. And I have my offset set to 15. Now we know that the ceiling is actually at 16. These are showing heights that I've selected before. So let's try 17 and see where we end up. It's easy enough to change the elevation after you've modeled. And then we'll start figuring out where we need ducts to go. So I know that I'm going to have a line that covers my retail area here, my gift shop. Probably have a line that covers this perimeter and feeds this area of the cafe. Probably have a line that goes down the middle here, feeds this kind of back leg. Whoops. Once I have one of these in place, they're pretty easy to move. Like I said, it's just a line tool, so if I want to grab this and stretch it over here, it's really not that big of a deal. I'll feed my mini gallery. Just hitting escape after I've drawn a line so I can draw another line fresh. And then feed this guy over here. And that gives me my supply. Quick note, these don't all need to be, what was it, 30 by 24. Really only the main branches need to be that width. So what I might do with my building here is I might actually create 2 ring ducts to kind of cover everything. Let's do that instead. I'm just going to delete these guys. I'm going to make 2 ring duct. By the way, I should point out that I am not a mechanical engineer, and the system I designed is not going to be some wonderful marvel of mechanical engineering. It will be the adequate amount of mechanical engineering needed to explain how to model this duct. So, and then I'll make another kind of larger system. Comes off of here. And then I can use my line tools to clean this up, just like we did with the risers. Line this to this. And there you go. So I have 2 ring ducts that kind of service everything. And from these ring ducts, I will run all of my branch duct. Go back to my duct placeholder. Make a smaller duct here, which will be something like, let's say, 24 by maybe 16. Tell you what, we're going to keep this to dimensions of 12, just to keep this simple. So I want something that's going to feed into here. Have something that feeds out here. One that feeds out here. Feeds here. Whoops. I think I did a little extra crazy click there at the end. Nope, I'm good. And maybe even there. Another one that's going to feed out to here. Maybe one that comes to here too. Nice thing is, once I put these in place, I can edit them pretty easily. Just kind of clicking and dragging to get things about where I want. Okay, once again, not a great duct system, but I'll take it. Now we'll do another one for return. A return is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be a one over here, and then maybe one kind of a distance away from that one, so I really get a nice effect of it. And then the last one I'll do, my exhaust air. My exhaust air can be a lot smaller because it's servicing a much smaller space. So I'll just make that a simple 12 by 12. Now you'll notice that I'm being very careful not to connect my duct back to the riser, because I'm modeling all of this with duct placeholders, and I don't want to connect them back to the riser because then we'll create another fitting. So I'm going to connect them to the riser last. Now once I have this layout, just so you can kind of see what we're looking at here, it shows up kind of nicely in my drawings. You know, it's where it is perpendicular to the system. I can see the dimension of the duct itself. where it is parallel, or sorry, where it is perpendicular to the view, I see the dimension of the duct. Where it is parallel to the view, I see just a kind of a stick line. I can tell that these things aren't connected up, because then they would all have the same line weight. There you go. Actually going to not do that because I have no idea where I just did that. And I can also tell that I didn't give these guys enough distance. So once again, it's pretty easy to fix that. I'm going to go in here, I selected everything, filter, just grab the duct placeholders, and then I'm going to move these as far up into the ceiling as I can, because duct likes to have a nice smooth radius down to the air terminals that we're eventually going to put here. Oh, for some reason this didn't give me a system type. Let me try this again. System type. Well, that's odd. For some reason, it's not recognizing the system type. This guy. Let me see if I pull this back, if it will connect up and make it happen. Oh, there you go. All right. Just need to connect that for it to know what it was. So there we go. If I go to my 3D view, I get a pretty nice, basically just 3D line work, showing me where all this stuff is distributed to. And I'm going to stop there for now, just so I can end this video and keep the file size small, and then I'll return in the next portion to show you how to put in air terminals.